All right.
You were on for like
I know,
5 seconds.
but you went on air for like...
Adjusting his chair, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry.
I was starting the clock and getting things organized here. Welcome back to Calling the Audible. It is the end of week 7 into week 8.
Yes. Interesting, right?
It is intriguing indeed. Peeze will join us very shortly here in the armpit of St. Leonard in the studio that we have.
And what? That sounds like the worst. In the armpit of St. Leonard?
Yeah, this is the armpit of St. Leonard. Anyway, Simon Danger to my immediate left, Eagles dead center, GM to my far right, as we are rolling along here on this Thursday night on a late February now officially? Can we say it's late
No,
February?
it's not yet. It
Late
is.
February, yeah.
22nd, there's 1 week left.
Yeah, it's February 22nd.
Well, 2 weeks from now, we go clocks forward now, huh?
There's only 6 days left of February.
We move clocks forward, yeah, in 2 weeks.
And then people can finally start using EST correctly. Because I see it in emails right now. I'm like, it's EDT. We're in daylight right now.
Eastern Daylight Time. It's standard time.
Equestrian Daylight Time.
Yes. Speaking of Daylight Time, let's talk about the week that was. One
Great,
speed power. One speed power.
Yes, 1 speed power.
You and I were both there for that game.
So you're supposed to do something for me? Although you did not. You lost your bet.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you do remember. We've had this discussion.
Speaking of 1 speed power, 1 speed power is walking into the building.
Well, there he is. Hold on. Let's do the bet right now.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go. He shows up. He shows up in time.
There you go. We're live on air. Easy. What was supposed to do on this bet?
Oh, you gotta propose to Simon.
Seriously?
Would I coffee you? Yes,
It's
I would.
cold. Get closer to the door, please.
Would I coffee you? Probably.
You want to coffee me, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Okay.
We should make sure that this goes to a certain person.
All right. I propose to Simon. All right. Welcome in, Peeze Delarizzi.
Hey, how's it
We're
going?
about to talk about the game that was with your 1 speed power against the U, and the U winning 44-26.
We don't really need his input.
Well, like the gist of it, 1 speed power is up 20-6 with 2
Hey, guys.
plays left. How you been?
How's it
PZ?
going?
Very
Cool, you
well.
interrupted him.
I know.
Two
but,
plays.
just arrived, so I'd say hi to people. It's
2 plays left.
rude.
You guys are up
Like
14
others.
points, and you guys end up losing by 18 points.
It's rude to interrupt him.
I know, right?
What happened in this game with you guys unraveling?
So for those who weren't there, we are up 26 as Mokan described with 3 plays left in the first half. Then pass interference penalty took our opponents to the 1 yard line.
Went up 14 at that point.
We're up 20 to 6.
20 to
Yes.
6, and
Yeah.
then
2 scores.
They scored after a pass interference call.
Yep.
And then they got the ball start to half.
scored again.
So the next time I touched the ball was it was now 20-18. So it was up. It was between being up 2 scores and essentially being tied, right?
Yes,
Like, 3 scores
essentially.
apiece. And then my first throw of the second half was a pick 6.
Yep.
So now all of
Oh.
a sudden, yes.
No, that was later in the game.
That was late in the
It
game.
was later. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Well, it was an
That was
interception.
you were down by 12. And then
So
you threw
my first throw of the
interception.
second half was an interception, and then they
Yes.
drove the field and scored. So it was
a 4 and out. You had a 4th down turnover.
that
as
was
well.
later. That was in the
Midfield.
drive after.
Yeah.
That was right afterwards, and then they scored again. Then
Yeah.
you were down by 12, and that's when the pick 6 happened.
Yeah.
But by that, the game was essentially over.
I have one question for you. I have one question for you, PZ. On 4th down at midfield,
Yeah.
why in God's name are you going to Joseph James on 4th down?
It was open. It was the right. It was the
He,
right.
wa-
read.
he was open. It was a bad ball.
It was.
he was
It
open.
was. I worked
Why
with-
not William Power? He's your go-to guy.
Because I had quick outs from the slots. Will
'Cause-
Power's guy was playing outside shade. Joseph James' guy was playing inside shade.
Also,
Joseph James is right read.
Joseph James was open.
And he was open. That's like before the snap, I knew he was open. I just overthrew him. I missed him. Happens.
Yes,
I'd rather go to William Power.
but he wasn't open.
But he wasn't open. It would have
I'm
been a
just
pick
saying,
6.
William Power's a better option
If I
than
throw the
Joseph
Will there,
James,
it's a pick
man.
6.
But that's why 24.8% career percentage.
I'm just saying, William
That's
Power was killing these guys.
Yeah, he had a monster game.
Had a
Honestly,
huge
yeah.
game for you guys, and he should have been the 4th down guy, not Joseph James.
Cool.
Who had a great game on defense, you know, to say.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations. Now the leader in the passing yards department.
That
Huh?
was them, by the way.
Well, look at that, huh? Look at
I
that.
wish it was touchdowns. but
I wish it was something else.
What else caught your attention, PZ, from Div 6 this past week?
Let's start with Simo. As I settled in the studio because I didn't realize you guys would start without me because that is a dumb idea.
Flunkerton won this week. Sorry, Jim, go on.
Replacements
Oh, yes.
crawled back and beat Air Force One. I think that I score capped that game. And to me, it looked like Air Force One came out very, very confident and strong, with good reason as well.
Mhm.
And at some point during the game, they stopped respecting replacements, and replacements had a couple plays that went their way, and they ran with it.
Now, watching that game in person, what is the one thing that replacements do well that could be their calling card moving forward?
They don't let like a bad play get to them. They self-motivate. They create those turnovers by getting hype on each other and making those plays.
So they're mentally tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that counts for a lot, especially when you already have this chemistry. They just need to execute a little bit better and avoid mistakes and turnovers to really perfect, but they're on the right track.
It's good. I saw Flonkerton beat Fighting Flamingos.
That's a big win. That's a huge one for Flonkerton.
That's as big as the
Brent
replacement.
Bakken had a drop ball in that game. Her in the
Yes.
end zone.
But it's I think Flonkerton are quickly finding their way. They're the sort of team that was
Well, it's a
kind of
talented team.
Yes.
Rico Tolino's on it. Evan Nilanol's a solid receiver.
But they had a
Justin
slow
Vekas
start.
is improving. Like, it surprised me how slow it was, though, in a sense.
Yeah, but
I expect them to drop a game or two early, but then find a rhythm.
that's sort of what I was saying. Is
Yeah.
they had a slow start. It was a bit. I wasn't too sure what to expect from Flonkerton, and past 2-3 weeks have been pretty impressive.
Mhm.
And to see them put the beating on Fighting Flamingos this way, it's a shocker.
I saw that Vic in the Box beat the Potatoes 28-20. Spoke to Daniel Pistor after the game. He was telling me that they're better than they appear. And it's a couple pieces from the NWO core and some new guys. So I think it's just a while for the new guys to get.
The NWO
a
split
rhythm.
into different teams after last
essentially.
season. Yes.
But JJ Cosentini caused an issue on defense. Was the first team to really bother Styles Trudeau. So that's interesting to see for a team that's fighting for a playoff spot. And I know more. We're going to talk about that later.
Yep,
But
yep.
that's something definitely to see.
What about 6D? Things go according to plan here. PZ Del Reason.
Well, again, that loss to Air Force One. I mean, just to touch on that really quickly before I get to something else.
6D, yeah.
GM, why wasn't Air Force One able to stop the replacements? Because I've seen their offense, and it's an offense that needs work, and Air Force One defense is typically very organized and very on point.
My impression, as I mentioned, is just like it really seemed as if there was either to begin with like starting the game and then it started to unravel, or at some point like Air Force One just sort of stopped respecting them. Like I think they thought they had the game in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, like at the half, it was a 20 to 6 point deficit, and the replacements just crawled back.
Yeah,
It's you get that with experience, but at the same time, like I don't think any game in FPF is ever a wash, and you shouldn't write it off until it's over.
yeah, that's fair. And a team that saw that was Baker Boys, thinking maybe they can compete, facing another struggling team in Rosas, 24-0. William Plant has a good game in this one. But guys, on the Baker Boys side, they struggled in 6, and now they're down to 6D. What can they do in order to improve? Like, maybe not win games necessarily, but stay competitive to the point where you're learning, and for next season you can build on it.
Well, I
we
think
have Raiden as well, Sebastien Dufour. Also 12 guys on the field for Potatoes versus Vic in the Box.
12
guys, that's what was written in.
I don't know what that means.
12 green guys.
So 12 guys from the same roster, so nobody plays both ways.
Just reading, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
okay.
fine.
That doesn't help.
Sorry, I
That's
just didn't. I wasn't
yeah,
sure.
that's not the right way to play FPF.
Depends. If
It's
you
tough.
guys were very good at what they're doing and no egos, it's actually a very good way to play FPF.
But it doesn't. I haven't seen it work though.
To answer your question about Baker Boys,
Div 3, Winter 2011.
That was a long time ago.
Finest this season.
Yeah, there you go.
It's true. No, but
You know, the best team in FPF.
but in the playoffs they don't play with 12. They usually like 9, 10.
Yeah.
well, it depends, man.
Also, the team might be built not knowing that guys won't show up every week.
Yes, it's true.
And so this week they just happen to have all 12.
It could be that 1 week. That's true. Fair point, Peeze.
Baker Boys answer solution. Look, they won 2 weeks ago against Brewers, 30-0. 3 games left.
But like to score no points, it's tough, man.
I know. That's twice now they've not scored points, right?
Like to me that's problematic.
Like,
Your quarterback has 30 yards.
Yeah.
5 completions, 3 interceptions.
Like yeah, that means you did nothing right the whole way. You couldn't even get to the end zone.
It's honestly, it's one of these things I see in the bottom end of Division 6 and 6D. it's tough to understand how teams can go a whole game without completing double-digit passes. Like, you don't even need to be that good.
The guy had 43.
Case in point, the 3 guys in this room.
The guy had 43 passing yards total and got sacked for 13 yards twice. So a total of 13 yards twice and 2 sacks. But you barely drove the field once. In how many possessions did you have?
A 40-yard field on top.
4 or 5 possessions.
Yeah, so a 40-yard field you can't even get to like the
It's
10-yard
tough,
line
man.
of the
Like,
opposing player.
I
It's
agree
at
with
least
Peeze.
6 drives, essentially.
I agree with Peeze that at some point, like, I'm not saying you should put up 30 points every week because some teams don't do it, but you should be able to at least put up points at some point. Something should work at some point, right?
Or
Like,
at least moving the ball.
or try something different
Yeah.
this drive. Like, okay, so that didn't work, so we'll try something new and we'll see what happens.
But they
And
play with 4 quarterbacks now. That's almost
that also never works.
No, and I think that's the biggest. And to answer Pete's question, though, the long-term growth of this team, if they do come back for spring, which I hope they do, play Division E, you got to find a quarterback. Once you get that block and that piece in the puzzle,
but that's where it
that
starts,
key
right?
block, and that's where it starts, right? But you got, I think, in their case, and obviously for the roster that they are, if they can perhaps poach a guy with FPF experience to come play for them. And I'll give you the example that PZ has brought up in other shows that we've done here. The Black Sox, for example, right?
Yep.
They brought in the Fall Cup, they brought in Mike O'Donnell, they brought yourself into the whole frame.
And we saw that, like, even though like we didn't win games in the last 3 games, the games were
It was more
competitive.
structured.
Absolutely, and they learned an immense amount in a short period of time, just from having guys with
Wow.
experience.
Look
And
at
now they
Bruins.
have a new quarterback who's learning, and they have Mike O'Donnell on the team who's helping teach them as
Yeah.
Well,
well.
look at Bruins, right? They
They
brought in
added
Guy
Guy
Weisman, and
That's
now
the one difference on the team.
yeah, but now it's not
The
just
only
the,
difference.
Sure, the quarterback is better, but it also helps the receivers to know how to run their patterns properly. The defense is playing better because they have this like coach on that's also helping them out.
Well, back when François Martin was quarterback of Gronky Kong, and he was replaced for
Same-
Once Power, you know,
Same thing. So all you need basically is get a guy that knows what he's doing to help you guys out a little bit, and then from that point on, I'm not saying keep him forever.
But that's we've all been through that in FPF.
You
Because it's a tough league. Everyone knows what they're doing, even to the lowest divisions. So if you don't know what you're doing, you will lose games just based on that. Even if you're more talented.
The key for them is the quarterback, and the second key is getting a pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
And
everybody needs a good rusher.
Everyone needs a good rusher, but they can find themselves someone who's adequate and that can put their defense as opposed to, say, 2nd and 5 and 2nd and 20. What's my?
I just
No,
cracked my neck.
I heard him cracking into the mic from
Sorry.
here. I was like,
Didn't
Alright.
You never cracked your neck before?
yes, but just Mokan. Would you stop being Mokan, please?
I'm just
for a minute?
asking that question. You never cracked your neck before?
So the follow-up as well from Sebastian Dufour, that it's hard for the QB to read the play when everyone is in green. So I guess no pennies.
Oh, so
were-
both teams
Teams
were
are
in green.
green?
Oh, you meant
Yeah.
both.
So hold on.
Oh, I
Oh,
see.
yes. I heard about that story. Yes, in Kirkland, I believe.
What happened? How come there's no pennies?
Everybody were green. I guess.
Apparently,
Because the
the
pennies
I think
were
the
green
pennies
and
were
everything.
green.
But aren't there supposed to be 2 sets of pennies at each field?
Nope.
No, but Kirkland's
that's
only
the
one
thing.
field.
Yeah, so?
the powers to be, the suits at
Yeah, we don't have 2 sets of pennies.
at
for every
FPF
field.
offices kind of stripped the scorekeepers with pennies. I
I
used to
mean,
have
And
3
it's,
colors. I only have 1
it's a
color.
little cold to do the alternative. Remember the Shirts and Skins Montreal's Finest game from the spring, like way back ago?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that could have been thoroughly take the shirts off and play with like your Under Armour shirt. But if guys don't have anything
That
underneath,
seems very unhygienic.
No, it's.
But what do you
I
wanna
wouldn't
do?
recommend it.
green on green.
Green on green. Look, I'm colorblind. That's how it always looks to me. All I see is
Maybe
green.
that
I stack it
explains the
high.
interceptions.
Yeah, I know, right?
You should get guys with like big beards.
that's why Dan Bornstein does so well.
You should have only Bornsteins.
Look, okay. More on a more serious note, Peeze, who overhyped it like it was like the second coming of like World War VI.
World War
Yes.
VI because
I don't
it
know
happened.
or
because-
Sharknado 6. That's coming.
Yeah,
Because World War VI happened once already, so it's the second coming.
Second coming of World War
exactly.
6. Ultimate
But
history.
we talk about stick movers and goon squad, right? In the aftermath of the suspensions that were given out, and I believe it's only a handful of guys got suspended minimum 2
Yep.
games, if not 3 games.
No, there's
Producers, can you bring up the suspensions?
There's like 5 or 6.
There's a handful of players that got suspended. Right? I
Yeah,
think it's
So
3
so
from Goon
because
Squad.
the powers that be in FBF decided to censor the video and not trust the community.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I know, just saying.
Please.
That's my own personal belief.
Ask them have they
But-
ever watched Blue Nuit at night, and then we'll talk.
I want. That was
Did you say
awesome.
Bleu Nuit?
Lenu is
Yeah.
amazing guy.
Yes,
That's
but
how he became
That's
a man.
everyone's childhood.
Yes,
Yeah.
except Mokans.
No, that's But what is that? Is that Sesame Street?
What's
It was kind of like Sesame Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
except it
so-
wasn't Sesame.
Yes, Eagle.
Michael Cavillo has suspended 2 games. He's from Goon Squad. Connor Delaney from Goon Squad is suspended 3 weeks. Nick Cincini.
Your people, yes.
Also Goon Squad, 4 weeks. Sorry, too many C's. And Matthew Zoltak from Stick and Movers is suspended 2 weeks.
Okay, so this has a big impact on Goon Squad.
Yeah. So the
Can
thing is,
we write them off for the playoffs now?
well, so first of all, getting only 5 games for throwing punches, I'm
4
surprised.
games.
4 games.
So you still can make the playoffs. And
With visual
he
evidence.
was chasing somebody.
So just to be clear, trying to chase someone down who doesn't want to fight you and throwing punches is ludicrous. It's actually a criminal offense.
also,
And I advise teams not to go forward and attempt to punch people.
Also, you can
You're
get sued
not
for that.
a child. So, as for the how it'll affect the team, obviously losing 3-year players on a roster that's not a particularly massive roster to begin with is going to be challenging. And Goon Squad right now holding on to the last playoff spot. They're going to be affected. Stick and Movers slightly less affected because I think 3 wins will already give them a
They
playoff
have 4
spot.
now.
Yeah, 4. Sorry.
Four-
So
four
3 or
and
4
2
wins
right
I think will already give you a playoff spot.
They also won without the suspended player this week, which helps.
Well, because they've had 2 quarterbacks all season. Although I think Zoltak's a touch better in my opinion. So
But they
they're
still-
not. Either way, they're not a team that's going to score 40 points to win the game. They can rely on their defense to win games and their athleticism to make plays. So it's going to affect them to a degree, but they're getting him back before the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't matter. Goon Squad, however, this actually may cost them playoff spot.
I think it will. I don't think they're going to win the games without the suspended players.
Yeah.
And by the time he comes back, they're going to be too far gone.
Well, they're 2-4, barely holding on to their playoff spot. And their last 4 games: Potatoes, Bruins, the Pack, and they'll play hopeful Division 6 champions. All 4 teams are within playoff range of a
Yep.
spot.
Yep.
So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Goon Squad to recover from this decimation of bodies being suspended. But I think if you're Stick and Movers, you're in pretty good shape moving towards the next 4 games of your schedule. In your mind, Simone, and in your mind, PC, and even UGM as well,
Yes.
they're down big, and I'm thinking, okay, well, PC is gonna get his win, and they'll be 3-3, and they'll be on their way.
Nope.
That doesn't transpire. The U goes from being perhaps 3-3. We're talking about them maybe fighting for a playoff spot to now being 4-2. Did they save their season with this come from behind victory over you guys in terms of the broader perspective of making the playoffs now?
Again, just because on that side of the bracket in Conference A, I think 3 wins likely guarantees a playoff spot. Now,
Also, they were 3-2. Their season was just fine. They didn't save it.
Yeah,
they lost 2 in a row, and
Yeah.
to Mokan's point, they lost 2 in a row, and they were down in the first half. I don't
They
think
were,
their season was in
outplayed
peril.
in the first 20 minutes is all Peeze. Like, if this is a
Okay.
20-minute game, Peeze wins this game, and he's
Okay.
MVP of the
That-
season.
That's what Natalia keeps saying about her sex life. If it was just longer.
21 minutes will be even better.
So
But
No.
minutes. No, but the thing is that
5 plays, baby.
the thing is that in all seriousness, no, I don't think it has a huge impact on their season anyway. I think from a morale perspective,
possibly.
it sort of re-energizes this team.
But I think you have it backwards. I think it's OSP that's in trouble now because they lost this
Yes.
game. Whereas
Yeah.
the U,
We lost the game to a team that's in front of us who now has the tie break.
yes, but
So it's an
you
extra
guys
half a game essentially.
You guys would have been 500
Mhm.
in a division where 3 or 4 wins might be just enough.
Yeah.
So you would have been in a good spot. Now you're, like
Trailing.
Mo likes to say, barely hanging on a playoff seed, and it's the kind of game that it's gonna hunt you in a few
So,
weeks. Saying if we would have won that one, man, we would have been okay. I wouldn't be
or
struggling.
the 2 1-point losses, but yes.
Yes, also, but
But are they a better balanced team now than what they were with Shaq Lattimore?
So does balance mean worse?
does balance mean less strong?
No, that they have perhaps multiple weapons to play with.
So
Yeah,
If they
before it
just
was- it
lost
was-
a weapon,
Yeah, but Shaq Lattimore was
Once
their
again,
team.
to reiterate for those listeners and viewers who don't get the context of this, higher division team that won a championship with a player, they no longer have that player. Are they a better team?
Well, you're dropping down, though, yes. But in terms of the overall body of the team, though,
so
they've learned to be better without him, though. Have they
So-
become
Once
that?
again,
you're saying
higher division championship team
Yes.
with a very strong player. They drop that player and move down.
And
Are
the-
they better?
And the more weapons versus the better weapon is like bringing paper airplanes when the other guy's got a shotgun. So
I mean, it could hit your eye.
you
could blind him.
right in the retina.
Simon can't do that. Let's call it for this. Simon can't do that.
So, Mokan, what you're saying is, are they better without their best player?
Are they more balanced attack though? Have they figured out the
But
formula?
does balance
it's
mean
a
better?
different team, and I'm sure that players on both sides would tell you that. Like, I'm sure Shaq would say, "Hey, this is a different team." Like,
No, it is.
It ju-
consider them to be a separate entity.
And coming into the game, only Matt Litwin had double-digit catches.
And he had a big
So
game on
It
Wednesday.
shifted
that's
from
shocking.
Shaq Lattimore to Matt Litwin. So it's essentially similar to what they were, but I mean, as good as Matt Litwin is, he's not Shaq Lattimore.
No, but they're also not in Division 4 anymore.
Correct. But that's why they're not.
Yeah, no, I agree. But so your question, Mokan, is flawed in many different ways.
Yeah, but they're
Let's move on.
Namely in its construction.
And other
premise.
things.
Flamingos. We look at them right now. They trip up. But
I'm not worried, man. It's a
but is there a blueprint now on this team?
Well,
On how to beat them?
Stefan, your boy, Eric Perso at 226 passing yards.
I mean, so the blueprint is when there's a massive injury on the field and delays the game, and the quarterback goes from being warm to cold to have to get warm again. Yes, it threw off his rhythm. And there's more about that in my article coming later this week.
So the plan is get hurt before the game and delay the game by
Yeah.
45 minutes.
By the way, we all hope that Eric Bosco has a speedy recovery.
Yes.
He has his MRI coming soon. They're going to see what the damage was to his knee. So he suffered a big injury for Blitz Babes. Rough night for Blitz Babes, but definitely it sucks to see a player injured. So I just want to take an aside.
Nobody wants to see major injuries.
Exactly.
If you sprain your ankle, it's not the end of the
But
world.
definitely not Stephen Harpersod. He didn't want to see it because he told me it really messed with him. And when he got in the field, the ball just was not coming out of his hand right.
Well, he passed for 226
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah.
I mean, and he only scored 13 points.
Yeah.
So driving the field was obviously not an issue. Red zone definitely was. So either Flunkerton played really well in the red zone, or I don't know what else to say. Like, they have many good players. I think it's coming down to, do they have they have this one guy that for some reason we don't talk about, Rico Tolino.
Yeah.
Who's fantastic.
He plays
by
for
the
the
way. Like,
Niners.
he plays in Division 4 and he's like a stud in Division 4. He's really good. So if maybe he took away Arpaso's best player, number one read, maybe they struggle a little bit.
But Troy Lendvay, correct me if I'm wrong, had like 7 or 8 or 9 catches.
But only 2
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
That's what. No, I mean red zone. Like
But,
maybe he took
but
it away in the red
so
zone and it
watching
worked. I
fighting
don't know.
Flamingos, where they're most dangerous is right past the half. And that's where the post corner to Troy Lendvay has been devastating.
Post corner is fantastic. Right?
Yes. But anyway, any of those routes essentially attack
Yes.
a portion of the field with your best receiver,
Yes.
where he has space to beat somebody.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're not used to being the red zone and having that 1 yard line, and they struggled for one time. Like Jem mentioned earlier in the show, this is the kind of loss that you learn from. You go back to the boards and you're better at having it now than later. And I'm not too worried about Flying Flamingos. Unless it happens 2 more times this season, I don't think it's good for Flunkerton.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter for Flamingos.
So, let me ask you a question, guys.
Yes.
And maybe
Go ahead.
most specifically, Simon,
We'll
but
try to
Mo, you
answer
can
it.
weigh in on it too.
Aye.
So, Stephen Harpersod, very good play caller,
Yes.
fairly accurate passer.
Yes.
Doesn't want to be talked about in the podcast.
Doesn't have a
does he?
strong arm. Something going to be negative. He doesn't have a strong arm. Is this something that may affect him in the red zone, especially in the playoffs?
I don't think the strong arm is
Like, does it matter in FPF?
well.
The ability
Yes, to an extent. If you're playing an athletic defense in this conference.
The red zone?
Yeah, if you're going up, there's teams that have athletes that can go through the roof and
Okay, but
pick off balls.
Just he's a
Like, so in
smart
case
play-
you're throwing towards the roof,
he's
yeah.
don't do that unless you.
it's a big dome. He's a smart play caller. If you know you don't have the strongest arm and you can't.
Oh, he does it,
sling
and
it in-
he maximizes
Yeah, but I'm
that
saying
based on with his play calling.
if you know that you can't make those tight window throws, don't risk it. Don't call it differently.
Yeah.
I think he understands that. I think it might just have been a bad night. I think it just
No,
have been
of course,
one
no,
of
but
those-
it was just like
I
a question in general, like in the playoffs, can they lose a game because
for
like this?
for most
Yeah.
people, I would say yes.
For sure, yeah.
But if you know that's one of your weaknesses, don't.
There's
bank
ways
on
to
it.
call plays
Yeah,
around it.
there you go. So just know that's one of your weaknesses. Maybe up till now he didn't know that. Maybe he thought that it was fine. Maybe that's a reality check that they're
It's
gonna
like
have to
it's
see.
like when you think you're a great singer and you go out to karaoke,
Yes.
and then like you have that one honest friend who's like, bro,
Yeah, you
Please
just
don't,
sit
anywhere.
down, please.
I will not
Don't.
carry on my wayward son.
Yes, Eagle.
When you think you can play quarterback, so you have a team called Montreal Juniors Finest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
hey, yo.
Hey, when the Hot Boys Hotline looked better without you, then hey,
It's all the same, you know. It's all like as bad as Mokan is as quarterback. It's seriously all the same.
We do beg him to come back though, because it makes the rest of us
wish
look
he would come back.
Oh, I would wreck you, Simo.
Yes, okay, Mokan.
Conference B West. You look at their overall. You have practice squad at 4-2. You have a bunch of teams at 3-3. Tough Longs, Los Bandidos, Flunkerton, all at 3-3. The Pack at 3-4. But would you say though practice squad is the best team out of these listed teams in this division?
Do you want to take this piece?
Yes. Andrew Knopp is a great rusher. He absolutely changes the game. I saw them play against Clinkers this weekend. Again, the write-up for that will be in my article.
Cool. Thank you.
Coming up in a couple of days. But my worry is they don't seem to be able to score a ton.
You mean practice one?
Practice squad, yeah. But their defense is excellent. And if they can take the extra possessions granted to them by their excellent defense and put up more points, I'm excited to see the team moving forward.
If it's a new team, it's learning.
It's not new, though. There's a lot of guys from higher division.
Yes, but it's not always the same. Like, you never played together. The system might be different from what you used to have. The quarterback is different. If a guy plays with me and then plays with you, I mean, you gotta. It's different.
Yeah, they'll have fun with me.
You'll need you'll need some time to adjust. I mean, so many yards, right? I don't pass the yard. I pass the other team.
Well, you know the story Simon Dash has a
I
quarterback.
pass the other team. That's what I do.
Yeah, you do.
I make people happy. It's what I do. I spread happiness.
Yeah, you're the guy who keeps on giving. Put it that way.
Basically.
Like a fat Santa Claus.
At quarterback.
Isn't that a redundant? It's a
I
redundant
mean,
statement.
depending what you don't fat shame Santa Claus.
I didn't.
He's a national treasure, an international treasure,
Fictional.
multinational treasure. Hey,
Fictional.
what you talking about?
Fictional.
What you talking
treasure.
about?
Wow.
Fictional treasure.
Mine
Listen,
got blown.
Coca-Cola created him for a reason.
All the children listening right now are disagreeing with you,
Yeah.
Mo.
I'm
Don't
sure
ruin
they are.
Christmas for
You do
them.
know-
I'm sure they are.
you
In
do know-
Alabama, they're disagreeing with Mo Gone. Oh, hey, boy, what do you say these?
You do
come
know
on.
FF Junior watches
Scooch
this
gun.
podcast, right?
Oh, yeah. They watch specifically Div 6 and 6D, yes.
You're going
I'm
to get Collins tomorrow at work.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna get an
Coach
email.
Springer's going to call me up.
I'm gonna get an email tomorrow. What do you mean?
What do you
I'll be
mean?
like, Mo doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's true.
Ignore whatever Mo says at
Disregard what
all
Mo
times.
says.
Next thing you see, he's gonna say Easter Bunny's not hot.
Question for you, Peeze.
Is the Easter Bunny hot?
Yes.
Each is in what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
I have no idea.
It's early April.
Nice.
No, late March this year. I believe it's late March.
I have no idea.
No,
I just said a
April
random
1st,
time.
isn't it? Isn't it actually April 1st?
No, it's not. Is it? Or is the weekend of
I
of
think that's
March
April
30th? It's April
Fool.
1st, no?
I think that.
I think it's actually April 1st.
If only there was a tool that could solve this. for
Yes.
us.
Maybe
we have two
a
guys with
calendar.
computers.
When's Facepalm Sunday? That's the one.
There you
Maybe
Thank
it's lying to you
I
because it's
hate
April
it
Fool's joke.
so much. You have a microphone. Why can't you use it?
April 1st.
Peace.
is the one.
Playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Last two in, last two out here. You look at Conference A, One Speed Power in the 7th, Goon Squad in the 8th. You have Potatoes, Kuja Squad, and Guardians and hopeful Division 6 champions. 4 teams out, 2 of them in, 2 in, 2 out.
Reminder for all viewers, there is the playoff standings at the tab on the overview page of the division, so you can see where you are to see if you're in or out.
Also to listeners who can't view this page that's on the screen at the moment. But One Speed Power right now, luckily for me, have the tie break over hopeful Division 6 champions and Guardians, and likely will have it over Goon Squad because of divisional record. However, the One Speed Power plays Potatoes last week of the season, and Potatoes and Kuji Squad both have a tie, so they can see both of these teams can conceivably jump into the playoffs, and One Speed Power and Goon Squad may be on the outside looking in.
So
So
essentially,
an early golf season for Peeze and Simone.
to put it in layman's terms, just win out.
It's happening.
Just
Two
win out.
wins. Yeah,
Just win out.
Well, essentially, look, all these teams, if you win, let's say 3 of the 4 games, you're fine.
So predictions.
Easily. I'm going to predict OSP
Of
and
course.
Soccer.
and probably Potatoes.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Okay.
I think Goon Squad's going to struggle with the suspensions.
I think OSP is gonna make it in simply because the other teams are just gonna lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna
That's
say
how we've done it every season.
status quo just because Goon Squad's gonna lose their games due to suspensions. Kuji Squad, Guardians, and hopeful Division 6. I don't see it. Maybe Guardians, but they're so
Okay, we're
bad right now that I don't see them making the playoffs. But again, if everybody just flunks out, maybe.
all right, we're tight for time here, guys. Just your answers here for Conference B.
Yes.
You have Tough Lungs in the 5, Los Bandinos in the 6,
Yep.
Flunkerton in the 7th, Clinkers in the 8th, Pack in the 9th, Not Fast Just Furious in the 10th. You have Farmers in the 11th, and you have Diablos in the 12th. Last to win, first to win, last to out.
Well, no. Can we discuss this next week?
Yes.
Because
Tease
Tough
it.
Lungs play Los Bandidos,
Yes.
and Flonkerton play the Pack.
Okay.
So we'll have more information by far next week.
Absolutely. More in depth. Stay tuned for that. 6D, better offense then, gentlemen. Sick Bick or Green Monster? Two of the high scoring offenses in 6D. So who is the better offense moving into the last 4 weeks of the year?
Sick Bick makes me think I need to visit a doctor immediately, but I will say the name.
Does it make you think of shaving? Because Bick the razors?
No. But what honestly,
Makes you shave, huh?
Sick Bick
mean-
have been good. Have been great offensively for most of the season, whereas Green Monster have had only the last 3 weeks where they've scored 4 touchdowns or more. So for consistency, Sick Bick, but Green Monster might be one of these teams that's just getting better as the season's going on.
So who are the key players then in your mind?
For both teams?
For both teams. If you look at Sick Bick and if you look at Green Monster.
Well, Green Monster, they're relying a lot on 3 offensive weapons, mostly in Alexandre Cote, Darnell Kevis Riley, and Billy Gay. But I find that most of these guys are able to contribute, do their thing, play well. I have to give some credit to Patrick Jason. He's a guy that not a lot of people know, but he's actually a pretty good player. He has 6 interceptions and 12 sacks. I'm not too sure how that happens. Like Alec and a rusher gets 6 picks, or
Maybe
the DP gets 12 sacks. I assume so,
Mhm.
but that means he's very impactful at all times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So he's an FPF vet, considering
Yeah, he's
respect
been
to the
around
rest of the team.
for a long time, and he knows what he's doing. But it's still
For-
impressive stat line.
For Sick Bick, you're looking at Benji Ziegler. He's had to play quarterback. He's had to play receiver. He's the team's leading receiver, even though he started at quarterback. So that's awesome.
Is that a sign
That's
of him being
amazing.
talented or the team being not that great?
No, it's him being talented.
It's him being very talented. And look, I don't like the team style because they basically chuck a lot of balls up and guys have to make plays.
You don't like that?
But
I like
it's
I like chucking balls.
yes. And so, but the thing is,
Grenadier balls over there.
is that it's been working, and their athleticism is hard to cover. You can't teach athleticism.
All right, let's go to our boy, Mr. Delonier, and get his thoughts on 6 and 6D coming up next.
Today's guests on the Sportira guest line are brought to you by Sportira, the official suppliers of FPF uniforms and jerseys, as well as the home to the Sportira cage. Are you not getting your stats because your jersey is so beat up that the scorekeeper can't read your number? Don't be that guy on the Flag Plus football wall. We all know who you are. And get yourself or your team a fresh new look today by emailing info@sportira.com for quotes and details.
Hey Marc, ça va?
Oui, ça va et vous?
Oui, merci.
Juste avant de commencer, est-ce que je pourrais faire un petit commentaire?
Certaine-
Ça va être très court. Vous
Ouais.
m'avez parlé un peu tantôt au début de l'émission.
Oui.
C'est que la victoire de Replacement contre Air Force One.
Oui.
Et c'est que je voulais leur donner un peu d'amour au Replacement, c'est qu'ils partent de loin eux autres. Là. C'est qu'au début de l'année, ils se connaissaient pas. C'est tout du monde qui sont connus dans le combine de FPF. C'est quoi le carrière Frank Taylor Colatera, il fait le read option à la perfection. Alexandre Larocque, c'est un maître en défensive, c'est lui qui dirige toute la défensive, donc d'après moi c'est son bon plan de match qui a vraiment aidé à vaincre Air Force One.
Alright, merci Marc. J'allais actually poser cette question-là, mais c'est bon. Ça va.
C'est correct, je t'en prie.
Fait que tu penses que la victoire de Replacement contre Air Force One c'était plus impressionnant que la victoire de Flunkerton contre Fighting Flamingos?
Oui, parce que c'est comme j'ai mentionné, c'est ça, c'est Air Force One. Moi, dans mon article, j'avais mentionné, je les voyais invaincus jusqu'à la fin de l'année. C'est que on connaît toutes les qualités de carrière de Simon Blais, il décortique super bien le terrain.
Oui.
Et d'après moi, c'est ça, Replacement sont arrivés avec un très bon plan de match pour justement diminuer l'impact de Simon Blais sur le terrain. Donc, je leur lève le chapeau. Je lève le chapeau aux boys de Replacement.
Selon toi, la meilleure équipe en division 6B conférence A, Replacement, DGC ou à déterminer?
Avec la victoire d'Air Force One, je dirais Replacement. Et après ça, je dirais à déterminer. À déterminer, c'est ça, ils sont dans la ligue depuis quelques saisons. Ils connaissent bien les rouages et les subtilités d'FPF. Mais Replacement sont vraiment sur leur lancée. Je les ai vus 2 fois au début de la saison. Il y avait un peu de difficulté, puis là, ils ont pris leur envol, puis il faudrait pas les mettre de côté pour les séries éliminatoires en 6D.
So for people that don't know, Mark Andre is also our movie expert. And
Yes.
instead of movie review, I have 2 quick questions for him. Things that make me very excited. I just saw today that Sharknado 6 will be coming out. Very excited for that. Really, there's so much to build on after what we saw in the cinematic beauty that is Sharknado 5. But this will include a plot that deals with time travel, defeating Nazis, dinosaurs, and knights.
So everything.
Basically everything. How can this not be the greatest movie ever made? Is my question.
Je verrais bien ce film-là tourné par Quentin Tarantino. Justement, faire un genre de remake d'Inglourious Bastard et voir justement les dinosaures, les requins volants battre une coupe de nazis. Il me semble que, puis avec les dialogues qu'on connaît de Quentin Tarantino, il me semble que ça serait un film vraiment drôle, puis ça serait vraiment le meilleur film de tous les temps.
Definitely down for that. You got everyone in the studio excited about that, by the way, Mark.
He goes jumping on the seat.
Now, one last question. You and I, we're both big guys. We're probably not the healthiest dudes in the world. But if I manage to outlive you, does that make you Goose and me Maverick?
Juste pour les plus jeunes auditeurs, je veux juste leur faire un quick review. C'est pour le film Goose. Maverick, c'est les 2 acteurs principaux du film Top Gun de Tony Scott. Et c'est justement Goose, c'est un peu l'acolyte du personnage principal de Tom Cruise, et c'est un personnage qui est un peu plus méthodique, qui est un peu plus analytique. Et Goose, Maverick, c'est plus comme Maverick, c'est plus comme Peeze, c'est-à-dire c'est une personne avec une forte personnalité qui va dégager beaucoup. Et donc, si on devrait faire une comparaison avec la vraie vie, ça serait une bonne comparaison, sauf que ça serait moi qui terminerais avec la belle fille à la fin.
I
Non,
don't see that. I don't see that. Basically, all I heard was Pieces Maverick. That's good enough for me.
That's also what I heard. So, une dernière question pour toi, Marc. Selon toi, l'équipe la plus explosive en division 6B, Sick Bic ou Green Monster?
Je vais y aller avec Green Monster, ils sont vraiment sur une belle lancée. C'est ça, c'est vraiment une équipe bien balancée. Sidbick, au début de la saison, c'était vraiment l'attaque la plus explosive, mais dernièrement, je te dirais que c'est Green Monster qui ont pris, qui ont sur une meilleure lancée. Donc, pour le moment, je te dirais que c'est Green Monster, mais Sidbick pourra reprendre la pole position pour la fin, mais pour le moment, je donne la pole à Green Monster.
Thanks, buddy. So
Thanks.
So just to pull the curtain back on Simon a little bit, he panicked and asked the thing that we just talked about in the last segment. It brought it forward to repeat the content that we already had for the show.
No.
Good preparation for the interview, Simon Dagenet.
Well done, Simon Dagenet. The Brian Gumble of interviews over here.
That's pretty good.
Okay, guys, like NBA, they're bringing the NBA, universal playoffs. Right? They're thinking about going 1 through 16. You look at 6D.
This is Mocon Care.
This is the Mo Concare right now.
Right.
This again.
But Peeze, you follow this closely. You cover this league. There are more power teams in Conference B right now than there are in Conference A. Do you think it would be wise if they did a 1 through 16 playoff ranking?
I mean, I kind of liked it better when we had like a 36 team playoff in
March Madness
in
style.
Division D or Division E rather. So like I don't think it makes that much of a difference to do in such a small division at this point. And I think the cream will sort of rise to the top anyway. But like I think we can explore this further. What if we relegate the worst teams to soccer?
Promotion
Just tell them like
What is soccer?
we start FPF soccer.
relegation.
Like,
You
promotion.
had a
look.
good run, but
But this isn't for you.
We'll say it's
No.
7F.
Or like we invite the worst teams to have quarterbacks from Division 1, but they can only throw with their opposite hand. They're non-dominant.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I would
So,
love to see that.
And
I'm just
time
gonna
back.
fast forward to tomorrow morning when we're all in a conference call. Guys, did you tell teams that we're losing that they should go play soccer? Guys,
First of all, soccer is a terrible curse I would never truly wish on anyone. So clearly,
I love soccer.
I don't mean that. You're always welcome to play in FPF, and the only way to get better is to improve. It was more of a way to
The
make
only way to get better is to improve.
Yeah. Yeah, am I wrong?
Cool.
Am I wrong?
There's nowhere but to go up.
And you make fun of me for these things. Okay.
It's to keep playing. So
It's
keep
to
playing, and you will improve.
The
Because
way to
that
get
is the
better
only way to get
is to
better.
improve.
Let's do a double elimination playoff bracket, so it costs us way more in playoff games.
Yeah, as you
Week
get
10 of
eliminated
the
from Division
play-in.
6,
Week
you jump
17.
into the next tournament, which is the
It
16th
would overlap
tournament.
with the spring league.
That'd be awesome.
Guys.
No, yeah,
And then you get reseeded for the spring.
Yeah.
No, we
Nice.
overlap into fall.
Yeah.
So when you lose in 6, you play in the fall season as like the 17th seed.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you
It's
were
not
triple
bad.
elimination here.
It's gonna break our website.
It probably would. This would be the longest playoff run ever in
Week
sports
26.
recreational history.
Don't play soccer.
But
What is soccer?
would that not work though? In a big, so it would work in a bigger.
And I think it will work in a bigger
bigger-
division, but now with only 20 teams in 6D and 24 teams in 6, I don't think we'd see that
So,
much of a difference.
in
We'd
the
move maybe
future-
one or two teams.
For the future of 6D, let's say argument's sake it goes up to 36 teams.
Mhm.
Would you push for
Then
that?
yes, I like
That'd be
the
cool.
idea when we had again a 36 team playoff in Division E. I liked it.
Okay.
So 32, let's say, for instance,
Yeah.
just so it works.
Or 30,
mathematically.
whatever it was.
So 4 teams don't make
I think it was
but-
36 teams in Division E and 32 teams made playoffs.
So yeah, so 4 teams don't make it, but across the board, right?
Yeah, and then
And-
maybe with those 4 teams, you have like play-in games. Like they have one last chance, like a week 11 game,
Yeah.
where they have one last chance to make the playoffs.
So
Why not, man? Yeah. If you,
so
the idea is you
more
wanna-
Conacare, where everybody has a chance, and then
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't get it, you have second chance, and then worst case, we'll
you
give
have
you a
fourth
triple-
chance. Yeah. For that. Yeah,
third chance because
you get the playing
You
game for
know.
the FPF Cup. You know.
Yeah, you get like a 0% discount for the fall cup.
Yeah.
we'll give it like a $10 discount.
Yeah, and a
This
Simone
sounds
Dagenet autograph.
This sounds like the premise to a bad movie. Like, in a world where every team makes playoffs, one league stands above all with confusing regulations.
So according to my stats, you're now
Like the
eligible
FCC.
for the spring 2019 season. Yes.
Traditionally, we try and aim for about 60% of the teams making the playoffs, but in Division 6, 6D, we try and up that a little bit to make it a little bit more
Yeah.
inclusive. So, just context.
Great
on that.
job by the FPF suits to be more inclusive for lower divisions. Fantastic.
So a second ago, Mo wanted everyone included. Now he's ragging on you because you're too inclusive.
Yeah, for the previous show, Mo asked me a
I don't
question.
understand his politics.
Mo asked me a
I go
question.
both ways of the fence.
I gave
I
Mo
heard about
Left
that.
and right.
Yeah,
Left
or
and right.
Mo's everywhere.
Yeah.
So
other ways you could go 2 ways.
We could, yes.
Offense and
40,
defense.
40 yards west, 20 yards east.
So in the previous show, I asked
Sexy.
Mokan asked me a question. I answered his question with a question, and then Mokan proved my own point afterwards.
The
He
question
was so confused that he switched topics.
Okay, Simon Blais.
Yes.
Is he the next great quarterback in 6D moving up?
Yes, I see him as having Division 3. He reminds me of when
What?
JF
Well, he
Marquis-
won with Hot Boys Hotline, right? So
Sorry?
he played for Hot Boys Hotline last
Oh
night.
yes, that's true. Yeah,
so-
that's true. That's true. No, but I think honestly, he's the kind of guy like I said with JF Marquis of Trinity. First time I saw him, I said this guy can play in higher divisions.
Yeah, I see that.
Similar to that build, I think right away, like within the next year, he'll be in Division 3.
You also see that about a lot of people.
And I've been right. Anton
Well,
Sakis.
yeah, we kind of screwed Anton Saki. We built him up as
Michael
the
Soleimani,
Herculean
the guy from
god, and
Warriors?
he.
Sorry,
Michael Soleimanani.
Michael Solomon. I think he'll be there.
So many, yeah.
I mean, he's still struggling a
It's
little bit.
one season. Give him a second.
Well,
I
we'll
don't.
see.
Give him a
There's no time piece.
Apparently.
To
GM,
get better, you have to improve.
it is now time for.
Games of the week.
Yes, that was not
That
a
was
good one.
confusing.
Yes, that was
That
not,
was not
his
as
best one.
convincing. Anyway, let's go.
So Flonkerton against the Pack.
Give me Flunkerton.
Yeah, I'll take Flonkerton on this one.
Flonkerton as well.
Yeah,
Clean sweep.
it'd be 3-5 for the pack at that point.
Hopeful Division 6 champions against Vic in a Box.
Oh, Vic
Vic in a box by
What's the
a
spread on
lot.
that game?
Infinite.
Infinite.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take hopeful if it's
I think
infinite.
that ends.
No, it's, you don't understand. They'll continue beating them way after the game's over.
in the parking lot.
Like forever. Like the game. Like
In the
Seth
parking
Galina
lot.
is gonna have to be admitted into a mental health facility because all they'll keep seeing is Vic in a box pick him off.
So in the parking lot, he's gonna walk by, take the ball from his bag. Oh, intercepted again.
exactly. He'll get home. He'll put the ball down, but in his mind, it looks like he gave it to somebody else by mistake.
Next game,
Bruins against Two Flags, One Cup.
Bruins.
No, 2 Flags 1 Cup.
It'll be closer. It'll be closer than
Yeah.
first anticipated, but give me 2 Flags, 1 Cup.
6D.
Raw sauce against Goat Depot.
Ooh, that's interesting.
We'll go raw sauce.
Yeah, I agree.
Raw sauce.
Baker Boys against Broke Boys in the
The Battle of the Boys?
Bowl.
The boys.
Boys
Boys
the,
Bowl.
the BB Bowl. I'll go Broke Boys.
Yeah, Broke Boys.
Broke Boys by a lot.
Ooh.
And Green Monster against Sick Bick.
That's
Sick
gonna be a fun
Bick.
game. Give me Sick Bick.
Sick bag.
Sick Bick.
No, that's boring.
Yes, we're very boring people.
Sick Bick.
But you know, to get better, you have to improve.
Magic words, please.
If you get better, you gotta improve.
Don't be Simon Dagenet. Enjoy your trip to Florida.
why not be me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what's
guess
wrong
I
with
mean,
him?
But I
He
mean,
doesn't
you
like
do
this.
need to get better. Like that's how you.
I need to.
It's the
improve.
highest level of better is improvement.
I need to improve.